5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Secret laboratory deep down in the bowels of the earth, this man carries out his fiendish research. Dr. Blood, murderer, who experiments with the hearts of his victims. Dr. Blood, the evil genius who robs the graves of their dead in the name of science.
I'd like you to analyze whatever's in that needle, Doctor. It could tell us what happened to George Beale. Looks as though he's been kidnapped. Of course, that could explain the other disappearances.
What on earth is this?
It's a container for a narrow poison made by the natives of South America.
Curare.
Starring Karen Moore as Dr. Blood, who searches for the secret of reincarnation.
You can't let a man die so that you can discover something. It doesn't matter how important it is. That is murder.
Well, everywhere men are dying. Great men, philosophers, artists, scientists. But if they could live on, look how they could contribute to the advancement of man. Clegay is going to help me prove that I can give life where there was death.
Hazel Court as Linda, who watches a man become a monster before her frightened eyes.
I think we ought to go back.
No, you're going to stay here, locked away with me forever.
Oh, Peter, you scare me.
I'm serious. You must remain within these dank walls for all eternity.
Ian Hunter is the father, who unknowingly helps to destroy his own son.
Did you find out what was in that needle?
Strychnos toxifera, commonly called curare.
Dr. Blood's Coffin, the gripping drama of a man who calls on the power of the devil to satisfy his insatiable lust for the secrets of life and death.
Yes. I've done it. But I wanted to create something worthwhile.
You haven't brought Steve Parker back to life. This is something from hell.
From the exotic geisha houses of Tokyo to the back alleys of the Ginza Strip comes the terrifying news of a fiendish creature that threatens to destroy all who stand in his way. This is the frightening story of an American reporter in Tokyo who unwittingly became the victim of a shocking scientific experiment that turned him into a horrible mutant, half man, half monster, the Manster.
What happened? He got away. I think I know where he's going, to Taurus. Follow me. Right.
There's panic in the streets as the unheard-of terror of a half-man, half-monster runs wild through the city. There he goes! Don't miss The Manster, a genuine thriller in the most frightening sense of the word.
can now breathe freely. Its public enemy, number 1+, Dr. Caronte, is dead. This is the mysterious secret agent, Neutron, the masked marvel, who destroyed him and prevented him from using the secret formula 008. These 3 brave young men collaborated with him. Charles, James, and Mark. They assisted Professor Thomas, the famous scientist who will complete the studies of his late colleagues, protecting the formula of the deadly neutron bomb. His colleagues were murdered by Caronte. Let us not forget their names: Duval, Wilson, and Menzies. Even assuming that Caronte were still alive, the world can always count on its courageous and fearless defender, Neutron, the masked marvel.
Good evening, Professor.
Neutron, what are you doing here?
I must talk with you.
Of course.
Dr. Caronte, our worst enemy, has disappeared.
Yes, fortunately. But it's unfortunate that we no longer possess the formula.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. We must start reconstructing the neutron bomb.
I quite agree. It's a difficult job, but I think I'm in the perfect position to resume the investigations and see them through successfully. And while on the subject, isn't it about time for you to reveal your true identity?
And what's to be gained by that, Professor? As long as I hide behind my mask, I'm at liberty to act as a free agent, without the limitations imposed upon me by the law.
But haven't you just admitted that we have absolutely nothing more to fear?
Probably. But we cannot afford any risks. Don't forget that your work is of the utmost importance to the world.
You're right. We must, above all, ensure world peace. And once I have the formula of the neutron bomb, then we can all take a breather.
I'm glad you agree with me. And I don't have to remind you that I'll always be nearby to back you up. Goodbye.
Hello, Nick.
Dr. Caronte.
Surprised to see me, huh?
But the newspaper said that you died when the neutron bomb exploded.
I managed to escape before the explosion, but my zombies didn't have the same luck.
There are still the others, Doc.
Yes, fortunately. Let's go see them, Nick.
Sure, I'm with you, Doc. Let's go.
I hope the process is continued normally. Look, Nick. At any moment now, it'll be ready to be my slave. Here, I failed. Look, Nick. The material has evaporated. I hope that the others are in better condition. Come, let's see. Look at it, Nick. This one is beginning to move. My luck is back. Come with me, Nick. Wilson, Duval. And this is Professor Menzies. Good work, Nick. You did a fine job.
It wasn't difficult. Who would have dreamed that someone would steal the bodies?
They are in a perfect state of preservation. From what I can see, nothing has been lost. I hold all the aces. Triumph is mine. But there's someone I need to be able to fulfill the most fantastic project ever conceived by the human mind. Professor Thomas.
Entonces esperar a que una nueva paz me nazca cuando empecemos a sentir cansancio y se confundan dicha y sufrimiento. Lo conveniente es meditar, sea que después lloremos de arrepentimiento. Vas tan ligado a mi vida, voy tan ligada a tu aliento, que antes de ver roto este amor, quiero saberte muerto. Que antes de ver roto este amor, quiero saberte muerto.
How are you, James?
Surprised to see me?
Why should I be? We're good friends, aren't we?
Friends, Nora? It's not good enough just to be your friend.
Please, James, why bring that up again?
Then there is someone else.
Does it matter so much? Can't we let things stay as they are?
But can't you understand that I have to know? While there's still a glimmer of a chance, I must keep fighting for your love.
Look, there's Mark.
Hi, Nora.
Hello, Mark. Looking for me?
You're kidding? Nora, I've got some marvelous news for you.
Really? Like what?
Would you like to be the star of a fabulous television show?
Wait a minute now. Are you offering it to her or asking her?
Stow it. You interested?
Well, yeah, you know I would, but...
Let me know, buts. Everything's already been settled. You start this coming week. I just fixed it up with my sponsor. Well?
Oh, gee, thanks, Mark. You really are a pal.
Did you say pal?
Well, I've got news for you. That makes two of us. Pal. I created you all to be my slaves. Now listen carefully. You will always obey my orders. Well, Nick, this is the first step. The next one will be much more dangerous. I will now utilize the brains of the three professors.
Will you be able to do it, Doctor?
Yes, I think so. I will make them into one, which will obey me like these zombies. But for that, Nick, I shall need blood. Lots of blood.
What pretty blood, Doctor?
not enough, Nick. The problem is that the oxygen-carrying red cells live only a few hours. In a living organism, they renew themselves daily by the millions. But in this case, the renewal will not be natural. And without the red cells, the blood won't have enough oxygen to feed the brain I'm creating. That will be its only food, but we'll constantly need new blood to keep it alive. Come, Nick. You must make better use of the night.
Sure, with pleasure, Doc.
No. It's impossible.
Jumping Jehoshaphat. That's the sign of Dr. Caronte.
That's what it looks like, but it can't be. Caronte's dead.
Yikes!
Neutron, just what are you doing here?
The same as you, Inspector. That's the sign usually found on the bodies of the victims of Dr. Caronte.
Yes, 2 hours ago we found another one beside the body of a man who'd been assassinated.
That means that Caronte is still very much alive.
You mean you think so, too?
I'm afraid so. But supposing this to be so, why should he have wanted to kill these men?
You know something funny? He must have squeezed him to death. There was no blood.
This is very strange. Look at those wounds on his neck.
Yes, I've seen them. I know this sounds crazy, but this seems the mark of a vampire.
You're right, Inspector. That's what it looks like. We must fight and finish him completely. You can count on me unconditionally.
I am counting on you.
And I on you, Inspector.
That's the ambulance, Chief.
You better go now, Newt.
Hiya, fellas.
We've been looking for you all day.
Why? What's up?
Dr. Caronte is still alive.
You're kidding.
Listen to this. Dr. Caronte defies the world. Last night, a man and 2 policemen were killed. Once again, Caronte leaves his mark.
But that's impossible. Wasn't he destroyed by the bomb?
I guess he must have escaped before the explosion. We've got to start all over again, Mark.
No. That's impossible. We saw his remains, Charles.
Hold it. We thought they were his remains, but we were wrong.
Yes. Yes, I guess you're right. I suppose we need no further proof to know that Caronte is not really dead.
Let go of me. I'm sick and tired of you.
Look, let me explain.
I'm not interested in your explanations.
You're not being fair to me.
Oh, it's always the same with you.
Look, darling, you know I love you.
Feed them well. These brains possess hypersensitive cells. In life, they acquired knowledge and improved upon it, being its sole possessors. When they died, they took that knowledge with them, and the formula of the neutron bomb seemed lost forever. But now, Nick, united to a great brain, they will work for me. Nick, the world is mine!
This kind of news should never be printed. Take a look at that.
Vampires on the town? Last night's tragic crime, one more in a series, points to the definite existence in our city of a monster who feeds on human blood.
The only thing articles of that kind accomplish is panic in the city.
Know something, Chief? Remember last weekend? Well, a lot of people have been seeing vampires and phoning us, to protect them.
Well, the truth of the matter is that Caronte's back on the prowl again. Who are the men assigned to watch over Professor Thomas?
Let's see. Ahern O'Brien.
Contact them. I want to find out if there's any news.
Hello? Yes, speaking. Yes, Inspector. O'Brien is with the professor. No, nothing to report. Hi. Morning, Professor. How's the work going?
Even better than I'd hoped, James. I think that in 2 more days I'll have the formula completed and ready.
I hope that Caronte doesn't find that out. That way, you'll be running less risk.
It will be tough on him if he dares come here. We have a special flamethrower for his monsters.
Nevertheless, we must be extremely careful.
That doesn't worry me half as much as those poor people he killed during these past few days. I'd like to know what he's up to now, bloodthirsty devil.
If we only knew what he wants blood for. I'm sure he's planning something terrible. And I'm afraid we shan't be able to stop him.
Yes, James, that's the terrible part of it. The inability to stop him.
Look at it. This is the electronic brain. This circuit will unite, following the diagram of the brain, the reasonings of the 3 scientists. All their thoughts will be joined by sound waves, and their voices will be heard over this machine. By pressing these buttons, I'll hear their voices. Speak. What is your name?
Duval.
And you, what is your name?
Menzies.
And you, what's yours?
Wilson.
You see, I'm now the master of their minds. Now they are my slaves. Nick, now you must be more careful than ever. The slightest impurity in the blood will destroy my creation. And you would pay for that error with the most terrible of deaths. Don't you forget it, Nick.
I want, Doctor. Let's get back.
The most important news event of the last few days has been the reappearance of the mysterious criminal known as Dr. Caronte, who has committed numerous inexplicable crimes among people of all social levels, and in every case the special Caronte coin was found beside each victim, and his daring has reached such proportions that he has issued through the newspapers and television a formal challenge to the whole world. I'm glad to report, however, that a worthy opponent to Dr. Caronte has been found. I am referring to Neutron, the masked marvel, who has just informed me that he accepts the challenge. This promises to be a fight to the finish between these forces of good and evil. Neutron, the masked marvel, against Dr. Caronte. For humanity's sake, we pray for Neutron's victory, which will mean that the world can once more live in peace. That's all for tonight. Thank you very much, and...
What's the matter you're trying to do? Calm the public?
What do you make of all this?
I'm not quite sure.
But I think we're right back where we started from.
I'm terribly scared, Charles.
There's nothing to be scared of. We'll take good care of James.
It's not just him I'm worried about, but for all three of you. I'm equally fond of the whole group.
I'll tell you something. That's the best news I've had in years.
Mark? This is Jim. What's with this scoop of yours on Neutron?
He called me just before the program.
Then it's really true?
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks a lot. Well, that's that. But if you really got a call from Neutron, then who is Neutron?
Yeah, you've got something there. That's a good question. I guess that lets us three of us out.
Well, up to a certain point. Don't forget that that's what he says, and it won't be easy for him to prove it.
Yeah, you've got a point there.
And besides, he's already posed as Neutron once before.
What's your opinion, Professor?
You really want to know? The truth is that I've always suspected one of you of being Neutron.
In that case, it would be the first secret between us. Right, James?
But absolutely, our lives are an open book. No, Professor, get that idea out of your head.
Well, I've been wrong before. And now, if you will please excuse me, I'm very tired and must go to bed. Good night to you all. Night, Nora.
Professor.
Good night, Professor. That must be for me.
Who is it?
Don't worry. It's just a cab I called a while ago. Don't forget, I'm a working girl.
I could have taken you in my car.
No, thanks. No more fighting over me. I really prefer going alone. I'll see you both in the morning. Good night, you two.
Well, if that's the way you want it. Good night, Nora.
I'm leaving, too. I'll walk you to the cab. I'll pick you up in the morning.
What? You again?
Why so surprised, Professor? I promised to protect you, so here I am.
What a strange coincidence. We were just talking about you a while ago.
About me?
Yes. Because according to my suppositions, you must be James.
Or Charles, or Mark, am I right?
Precisely.
I wouldn't be so sure of that.
In that case, who are you?
I've already told you. I'm just a man who believes in the triumph of justice and who goes after it in a rather unorthodox way.
I've just thought of something. No, that is impossible.
Tell me, what's on your mind?
Well, for instance, you could be a policeman. Yes, a high functionary who hides his identity so as to be able to act more freely.
That's not a bad idea. Inspector Lawson, maybe.
Why not?
I am sorry, Professor, but I am afraid you are wrong again.
Nevertheless, only the inspector could manage to come up here without being seen by his policeman.
You have missed the point. He or someone else.
Who, for instance?
Someone who wants to protect you, Professor. Shall we say, a masked man ordinarily called Neutron. Sleep well, Professor. Listen carefully, Nick. The brain is now absolutely purified, and all three are perfectly synchronized and ready to obey my orders. Professor Wilson, can you hear me? I want your formula. Mine is XR2 combined with NP5. Tell me your formula, Professor Menzies.
N8 with 2 parts of ZQ.
Perfect. You see? They are my slaves. From now on, their minds will work for me. Speak to them.
My formula is KH2 in proportion with MWA and XA8.
Very good. I will urgently need some chemicals, but in great quantities. I want to make the most powerful bomb ever conceived. You will steal them from the warehouses. Don't let anything stop you. But there is something more important still. have created them to fulfill a special mission. I need Professor Thomas. You, go and get me the chemicals. I need them urgently. You, rise and get me Professor Thomas.
I'm using the flamethrower. Fire away, Neutron. Inspector, Caronte's on the loose again. James? James, it's me, Professor Thomas. James is not in his room.
Perhaps he goes to bed late.
Don't try and joke about this, Mr. Neutron. I'm now convinced. I'm now certain that you're James.
Come off it, Professor. Can't you think of anything else? Try this on for size, Professor. Isn't it more logical that James is, let's say, with Nora at this moment?
Yes, but he could also be here talking with me.
You know what? You're very obstinate, Professor.
Come on, let's go. Hurry up. There's lots more. Hurry up.
What happened here? That's Caronte's work. The other one was murdered, too.
Here's another one for your collection, Chief.
That maniac's been active tonight. An identical coin was found in a warehouse filled with chemicals, which was robbed tonight. The watchmen were murdered.
Did you say chemicals, Inspector?
Mm-hmm. The firm of Otto Mark and Company.
That can only mean that Caronte knows what chemicals are needed to build the bomb.
That's what I think.
Tell me, Professor, do you think he managed to get everything he needs?
He will have to go to a few warehouses more.
We'll have to watch all the warehouses and stop him from robbing them. If we don't, he might manage to complete the bomb.
Then let's not waste time. You stay here and guard the professor. Let's go.
I'm gone.
doesn't seem human.
It isn't. It's another of Caronte's living tools.
You gotta hand it to him. He's clever. Let's question him. We have to find out where his hideout is.
Know something, Chief? It's just like my mother-in-law.
I have an idea, Inspector. Watch him. Let him escape. He will lead us straight to Caronte.
That's a very good idea. Sergeant, come here, all of you.
Five. Listen. Five. Listen. Escape.
There he goes. No, wait. We'll let him think he fooled us. You go back to the station. We'll follow him.
Destroy yourself. Destroy yourself. Hey, look, it's disintegrating.
I'm sorry, Inspector. Our plan has failed.
We provide clean restrooms and our modern refreshment stand. And remember, the management always welcomes your suggestions. Thank you for coming, and we hope to see you often.
Yes, you lucky people, just sit back for a moment, relax, and notice the delightfully clean, cool, and refreshing atmosphere of this scientifically air-conditioned theater. Great, isn't it? Remember, you can enjoy great motion picture entertainment all summer long in cool comfort at this theater.
Cantando yo y se confundan dicha y sufrimiento lo conveniente es meditar. Sea que después yo
Hi, Mark.
de arrepentimiento.
Hi there. You here?
You're not surprised to see me, are you?
No, should I be?
Well, it seems that none of us want to give Nora up. Why don't we let her decide?
It's all the same to me, but Charles isn't here.
Anyone paging me?
Okay, we're all set now.
Well, she's finishing. Come on, right behind you.
Que antes de ver roto este amor, quiero saberte
Well, my three musketeers on beck and call.
Yes, we are your three musketeers, but for how much longer? Because I warn you, it's now entirely up to you.
Me? Why me?
For not making up your mind.
So make up your mind which one of us is taking you home tonight.
What's all this sudden hurry about? Listen to this.
Es tanto lo que te amo, vida mía. Es tanto lo que pienso siempre en ti. Que no me alcanzan las horas del día para estar soñando que estás junto a mí. Y en el rumor de las olas del mar siento de nuevo tu risa escuchar, tu nombre escribe mi mano en la arena y el mar celoso tu nombre se lleva y en esta fiebre de ausencia me voy como un fantasma hasta el malecón.
Fine, we're your three musketeers, Athos, Porthos, and Aramis. But don't tell us D'Artagnan is going to take you home tonight.
Last night when I wanted to accompany you, Jim said he was staying home. So what happened? I found out he came here to see you.
How'd you find out?
Well, because I got here first.
You see? Now do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Well, who's your choice?
I don't know. But let me think it over while I change my clothes.
Well, you're the boss, and that's that.
Be right back.
All delivered, Doctor. Nothing's missing.
Are you sure, Nick?
We brought everything.
Not everything. Something is missing. Professor Thomas.
But it was Neutron's fault. You know that.
I am not interested in your explanations. I need Professor Thomas. Without him, all this is useless.
Very well, Doctor. I'll get him for you tonight, I promise.
Not tonight. You'll go right now.
But it's day, and it'll be too difficult.
You heard me. Go and don't come back without him.
Yes, all right, Doctor. Doctor, We've been following the professor all afternoon. But he's very well protected. No, Doctor. I promise I'll capture him. Very well.
I want a complete list of everything that was stolen last night.
I have a list in my office. I'll go up and get it.
This way, Professor. Quickly! There's a car waiting for you. But you must hurry, Professor.
Thank you, Neutron. You've saved my life once more.
Forget it, Professor. But remember, your life is in grave danger.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Oh, you scared me. I didn't know you were home.
I must have fallen asleep. Where's the professor?
He hasn't come home yet, sir.
What?
Yes, as a matter of fact, Inspector Lawson called a while ago to inquire if he was here.
He should be here by now. It's 9 o'clock. I have to leave now, but I'll call later to see if he's back.
Hello, James.
Are you alone, Professor?
Yes.
You can go now. And the police who are supposed to protect you.
That's a long story. I was attacked again.
Really? Well, then you'd better stay here at home. You run less danger.
It was something terrible. If it hadn't been for Neutron, I don't think I'd be here now.
That masked man again. Then I'll stay until the police comes.
That won't be necessary. I don't think Aranta will try anything else tonight.
That doesn't matter. I'd better stay.
What for? I'll call the inspector and ask him to send over some men. Don't worry, nothing will happen.
Well, all right, but promise not to do anything foolish.
Don't worry, have a good time. Inspector? Yes, you know about it? They attacked me again tonight. What? No, it's nothing. It's just that Neutron has arrived and it would appear that I couldn't be better protected. Oh, very well. If you insist, I'll wait for your men. You are a most welcome sight, Neutron.
You'll have to come with me, Professor. You're in danger here.
What do you mean? How did you find out?
There's no time for explanations. You must come with me.
But I promised, Inspector, I wouldn't.
Where's the professor? He's in the lab. He just came home. Go check. He's not in there. Check upstairs. In all the rooms. And you check the library. He's not in there either.
He's not up here. Hello? Inspector? This is Leon. Professor Thomas has disappeared.
Did you question James?
He wasn't home, Inspector.
This is getting more mixed up by the minute.
Good evening, Inspector.
You here?
I've just found out that Professor Thomas has disappeared.
You're the guilty one. Arrest him.
Hold your horses.
Put the handcuffs on him.
You've double-crossed me, Inspector.
Tell me, did you think you could fool us indefinitely, Neutron?
I don't understand.
You will in a moment. You were the last person to see the professor.
How'd you figure that?
Then there's something else that you don't know. I was talking to the professor on the telephone when you arrived at the house. He told me so himself. And from that moment on, Professor Thomas disappeared.
I can assure you I was not even near his house, Inspector.
Of course, that's your story. All I'm interested in finding out is where the professor is hidden.
How should I know? It must have been someone impersonating me.
And now, my friend, I believe the time has come for us to meet face to face.
Don't try it, Inspector.
Get out of the way, you idiot. After him, he can't get far.
That guy gives him the willies. Now you see him, now you don't. He must be jet propelled.
He got away from us. He might have gone to see Nora at the club. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Who is it?
Nora, Inspector Lawson wants to talk to you.
Good evening, Inspector.
How are you?
Please come in.
I'm sorry to barge in on you like this, but I'm looking for Neutron.
And what makes you think that he might be here with me?
We followed him here. He was handcuffed. And besides, I'm convinced that he's looking for someone to help him. He had the audacity to kidnap Professor Thomas.
But that's impossible. Are you sure?
I'm completely sure.
Very well, Inspector. But I still think it's very strange.
So do I. By the way, have you seen your friends tonight?
No, they haven't shown up as yet.
Strange, isn't it?
Why? Are there 3 neutrons?
Don't be flippant. You might regret it.
I thought he would never leave.
Tell me the truth. It wasn't you, was it?
Who kidnapped the professor? No, it wasn't me.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'd never forgive myself if I'd helped an enemy.
You can trust me, Nora. You should know that by now.
Let's go talk to Nora. Come on.
Hey! Wait for me!
Just a minute, gentlemen. There's something that I want to talk to you about. Exactly where were you last night?
Are you suggesting that I had anything to do with the professor's disappearance?
Or maybe he thinks I'm the masked man.
I don't think anything. All I want you to tell me is where you were at the time Professor Thomas was kidnapped.
Hi, Inspector. You're just the man I wanted to see. What's the latest news on the kidnapping?
My question includes you as well. Where were you last night?
But surely,
Not
Inspector,
another word. None of your explanations convince me. I am now absolutely sure that one of you three is the masked man. Let's go see Nora. I'm sure that she'll be able to help me unmask one of you. Let's go.
What are you doing here? Be careful, the inspector is outside. You are not Neutron. Get away from me. Get away from me.
Nora's disappeared.
Who was it? Talk.
Some guy with a black mask. He took Miss Nora with him.
I knew it. So it was one of us, huh, Inspector?
Come on. We have to find him.
Let's go.
Nora. Are you all right?
Professor, where am I? Who is that man?
A criminal. Keep your insults for better occasions, Professor. Here are the formulas of the dead professors. All I want you to do is to combine them. Then I will have the neutron bomb.
I've already told you I won't do it.
You will. No one defies me and gets away with it. Let me show you the extent of my powers. Come with me. Speak. What is your name?
I am Albert Duval.
And yours?
I am Robert Wilson.
And who are you?
I am Abraham Menzies.
What have you done, Caronte?
I have made contact with the beyond. I am now Lord here over life and death.
But they were my friends.
Yes, your dead colleagues. I fused their brains into one massive intellect, which obeys me blindly and communicates its every thought to me. Are you convinced now? I have been able to snatch the formulas from death itself.
Caronte, you have invaded God's own domain. You will pay very dearly for this.
Let's not get metaphysical, Professor. Are you going to cooperate with me or not?
No.
Very well. If that's the way you want it. He will provide an exquisite morsel for my monsters.
Stop him. You win, Caronte. Let her go.
Stop. Put her down.
Nora, are you all right?
I am glad to see that your common sense triumphs, Professor. Your sacrifice would have been useless anyhow, Professor. Take her away. Well, Professor, I've kept my end of the bargain. It's now up to you.
Do you have all the chemicals required?
All but one. Solution XKY5.
Well, you better get some. I can do nothing without it.
Did you hear him? Get some.
We have to wait until nightfall. The police are watching the cellar left.
So you know that they are the only ones who have it.
Why are you surprised, Professor? Dr. Caronte always knows everything.
Clear.
At last, the neutron bomb is mine. I congratulate you, Professor. It's a pity that men like you must always die. But you've already outlived your usefulness.
Murderer, I could.
Take it easy, Professor.
You stay here and take care of our guest. I have important work to do.
Why don't you make yourself at home, Professor?
Professor,
Nora, I am afraid I did it.
this is all my fault. You shouldn't have done this for me.
I just couldn't see you die like that, devoured by those monsters.
It's all the same now, and anyway, it's too late. Humanity will be destroyed by Caronte's bomb anyhow.
Perhaps not. It all depends on whether they accept his conditions. And he'll go on killing until he's achieved his goal.
Quickly, come with me.
You.
What are you waiting for, Professor?
First, I must do something. Look, this is the most infamous creation of Caronte's. If I don't destroy it, my colleagues will never be able to rest in peace. Any substance which is not blood will destroy it forever. Take off the cover. Now we can go.
No, wait. Now it's my turn to destroy something.
They're gone. Let's go, Neutron. We have something more important to do.
Do you know where Caronte is?
Not exactly, but I do know something terrible. He's going to leave the bag containing the bomb at the airport. Then he'll send an ultimatum to the authorities. And if they don't accept his conditions, the bomb will explode at 10 o'clock.
We have very little time left. Come on, let's hurry.
Mr. Gerald Mayer.
I'm Inspector Lawson. I want to see a bag that was left here a moment ago.
It must be this one.
Open it.
And what if this should be nothing but another trick of Caronte's?
Caronte doesn't play games. That I can assure you. Isn't there another bag like that one?
No, sir.
There's no bomb here, Chief. What makes you think that this is the bag, Inspector?
I'm positive. Professor Thomas described it.
Well, so much for that. Just a minute. A little while ago, I gave out an identical one.
To whom?
To a couple just back from Los Angeles.
I want to see the passenger list of the Los Angeles flight right away.
Yes, sir.
I still insist that this is another of Caronte's tricks.
You're wrong. An hour ago, the authorities turned down an ultimatum of someone who wanted to assume their powers. They call him a madman, and it was signed Caronte.
We have very little time left.
Here's the list, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 couples. One of them is bound to have that bag. We've got to find him. Shouldn't we go separately? Good idea. We'll divvy up the addresses and turn this city inside out. Thanks. Let's go.
It's good to be back home, darling.
But what are you doing, darling?
I'm just going to fix some dinner. I suppose you'll be hungry by now.
Sure, in hell. But let's eat out tonight. Say, there's a new restaurant around the corner.
But, Paul, that's throwing money away. And we have already spent a lot.
Not another word. It's still our honeymoon, and we're going to enjoy it. Come on. Boy, am I hungry.
is it? I'm Inspector Lawson. Are those all your bags? Yes. Why? We were just checking. Sorry.
Yes. It's me, Doctor. Neutron was here. What? You already know? Okay. Give me the address.
I've already spoken to the first couple. Keep on searching for the others.
There are the bags.
How many to go? 3, Chief. 9:20. Come on.
Just a sec, Chief. Please. Just a sec. Hello? Uh-huh. Chief, something crazy's going on. Some monsters attacked a couple looking for the bag.
Okay, acknowledge.
Okay, over and out.
Caronte is also out looking for the bomb. I wonder how he found out.
Who are you? No, don't move. Call the police.
This is an extremely powerful bomb, which will explode in less than an hour. You must believe me. There is no time to lose.
Hello?
All right. I believe you. You can go.
Thanks. Wait a minute. Call again and tell Inspector Lawson that I've found the bomb. And I'll try to reach Professor Thomas for him to dismantle it before it explodes. Thanks. Where's the professor?
He's waiting in the laboratory.
Professor. Don't move, Neutron. Just take it easy and put the bomb on the table.
Don't forget the bomb is about to explode.
I know. I prepared it myself. It's got 3 minutes to go. Put it over there. Put it down.
The bomb. It's about to explode.
I could rule the world.
You cannot. My job is to destroy you.
We would be invincible.
I'm still not interested.
We'll show them yet. Then we'll all die. You made your choice, Neutron. This is the end.
But you'll die with me.
That's the switch. Pull the switch!
I thought this terrible day would never end.
I guess I'll have to admit that I was wrong about Neutron. I was unjust to him. Without his help, none of us would be alive now.
Yes.
The only thing I'm sorry about is that we weren't able to identify Caronte.
That doesn't worry me so much. What makes me happiest is that we finally have the bomb and that the world is safe again.
And Neutron, where do you think he is?
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Well, Void, what do you think Neutron would say about this?